Hi, I'm Sarah from The Pleasant Baker and I make cakes. Today's cake is a s'mores cake. I'm really excited. This has been on my cake bucket list for a while and I thought it would be a good way to end the summer. So let's get into it. The first step to making this cake is to bake the cake layers. I decided to do a graham cracker cake, which I've never made before. It was very interesting. You guys will have to stick around to see what almost happened. This cake was pretty straightforward to make. Using the creaming method, you want to combine the dry ingredients, which are mostly graham crackers in this case, a little bit of flour, and a little bit of baking powder. Then you want to cream your butter and sugar together. After those are creamed together, add eggs, vanilla, and cinnamon. And then you want to incorporate the dry ingredients and the milk, alternating between the two. And then I baked it at 325. Mine took about 28 minutes, but you want to make sure you check it regularly to make sure a toothpick comes out with some moist crumbs on it or perfectly clean. Make sure to let these cool completely before assembling your cake. All right, people, step 2, let's make the buttercream. I love this part. Buttercream is my favorite. For this cake, I use my American buttercream recipe, which I will link down below. And all I did was add in about 10 ounces of fluff. This buttercream came out
so good.
You'll have to check out my recipe and I'll link up above my tutorial to make my buttercream. For the chocolate ganache, I used 9.6 ounces of chocolate chips and 9.6 ounces of heavy cream, 1-to-1 ratio. Sometimes you want to do a 2-to-1 ratio, which is 2 parts chocolate chips, 1 part cream. It just all depends on where you live or what you need the ganache for. I let it sit for an hour and it was still pretty thin. So I threw it in the fridge, started to panic.
Oh my god, this whole cake is going to not be the way I wanted it to be. I started stressing out, but I
threw it in the fridge, waited an hour, pulled it out, and it was a pretty good consistency. Now it is time to build this cake. I wanted to build it just like a s'more, so I did graham cracker cake, chocolate ganache, fluff buttercream, cake, ganache, buttercream, I planned on doing more layers, but one of my cake layers fell apart from the simple syrup. It was just too thin, too moist, and that's all right. Plan B, 3 cake layers, no big deal. As I start stacking this cake, I see it's starting to bulge on the sides and I'm panicking. Oh my god, this cake is gonna fall apart. But I kept going, which I'm glad I did. I threw it in the fridge after I crumb coated it and everything chilled completely. And when I pulled the cake out of the fridge, it actually looked really good.
Story about this cake. I actually got the idea because my friend went camping with her family and came home with a bunch of leftover marshmallows and graham crackers. Obviously no leftover chocolate, whoever has leftover chocolate. Anyways, that gave me the idea to do a s'mores cake, and funny story, I only used 1 pack of graham crackers out of like 5 boxes, and only a few marshmallows for the s'mores on top because I ended up using fluff for the frosting. So it's just kind of funny how I got this idea from all these ingredients that I have, and now I'm left with a s'mores cake and a bunch of marshmallows and graham crackers.
I used a silicone brush to get this cool texture along the sides of the cake. I also added around the bottom some crushed up chocolate and graham crackers just so that everybody knows from the outside that this is a s'mores cake. I don't know if you've ever made s'mores in the oven. They come out perfect every time. You have to try it if you haven't already. I stacked the s'mores on top of this cake to make it look delicious. It looks so good. I'm so happy with the way it came out. I think if I make another s'mores cake in the future, I will not use a graham cracker cake crumbs. They almost tasted like carrot cake, which I love carrot cake, but not with marshmallows and chocolate. And that's really it. This is a pretty straightforward cake, definitely beginner friendly. So if you've never made a cake before and you've always wanted to, go for it. And let me know in the comments if you've ever tried making a s'mores cake, or any cake for that matter, because I just love talking to you guys. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button so you don't miss my next video. Bye!